Hey everyone, my name is Devin Crabtree. I am from Chanute, Kansas. I was born and raised here, and then I moved away while I was in college, and then I've moved back since then. I'm a physical education teacher at Chanute Elementary School. I teach grades kindergarten through fifth grade. I'm entering my second year. I got my bachelor's degree in sport management from Cameron University in 2013. The last 6 years, I've been a college basketball coach, and now I'm obviously a teacher, and I also coach basketball at the high school here in Chanute. This is my family. My wife's name is Taylor. She also works in school. She is a speech language pathologist. She just finished up her degree this summer and is just starting for her first year this past week. We had a son in May of this past summer, and his name is Watson. So now he's about a little over 3 months old, and that's our dog with us there. His name is Axel. So PE at Chanute Elementary School is going to be quite a bit different this year. Obviously, we don't have access to our gym, which is the biggest change. Which is just because that's where we always are. They are using it as a cafeteria for K through 2. So our teaching will be done in the general classroom for our classes, or it'll be done outside. So we're hoping to go outside as much as we can when the weather permits. So it's going to be a lot different. We're going to have to get pretty creative, but we've got some things in mind. So it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be fun, and hopefully it'll make us a lot better as we go through the year. While we're inside, we'll have to wear our masks at all times. The goal is to remain 6 feet apart at all times as well. So that's going to be pretty tough for the grade school kids, but we're going to do the best that we can. And we will have access to our equipment, but it will be limited. We can't use everything that we want to. It's going to be pretty strict on what we can use, and we have to sanitize it before and after each class. So there'll be a lot of that going on. So the three types of mindsets are: one, all students can learn; two, teacher collaboration over isolation; and three, happiness and optimism. So all these that we went through for this assignment, I agreed with everything, and I'm sure most people did. And the all students can learn mindset is something I believe in. I think most educators do, that all students can learn, and it's our job to do everything that we can to connect to our students and just find the best ways for them to learn. Everybody's a little different, and we've got to try to dive into that and find out, how we can do it the best that we can for them. Teacher collaboration over isolation. This mindset is something that's been really valuable for me in my first year. We had at CES we have what's called co-teaching in physical education. So we each have our own class. But we combine them every day in the gym. Obviously, this year that's going to be different. So I was fortunate enough last year to have a co-teacher that we collaborated every day, all day, every day, and he had over 20 years experience in PE, so he was able to teach me a lot, and I was able to learn a lot from him, so it was great. Then number three, again, happiness and optimism. This mindset is big time for me. Just having a positive mindset, even on the toughest days, is something I really try to focus on, and it's just, when you're happy, you're just a better teacher, in my opinion, and I think that's pretty common. All right, 5 types of dispositions. So one being confidence. It's my opinion that good leaders are not always liked by everyone, but you have to be confident in your decisions, even when they're tough. If everybody likes you, I think you're probably not a great leader because you're just trying to please everybody, and that might just be my coaching talking, but that's something that I've always believed in. Number 2, being a risk taker and decisive. So early in my education career, I've found that taking risks has made me better, especially like with our lesson planning in PE. There's a lot of things we wanted to try to do differently that didn't always work, and we knew that going into these lessons. That's just an example I thought of. They didn't work, but we tried, and we're better because of taking those chances. Number 3, sense of humor. So the one thing, I guess the only disagreement I've had in all these readings that we have for this assignment was this one, because it just said it's not quite as important, or I think it was important as the other four dispositions, but I think this one is just as important. Just having the mindset to turn positives into negatives and just have fun with the kids and understand kind of what they're going through and be able to just make them laugh and do those type of things. Number 4, empathetically assertive. So on this, I just wrote down, keep on trucking. Just know like whatever everybody's going through, you just got to keep going. You got to feel for them, but you also got to be assertive and kind of show them what needs to be done while being confident in those decisions. And then number 5 is being a learner. I have on here that leaders can't be complacent. If you're not getting better, what are you doing? Professional development is important. You've got to just try to get better in your craft, whatever that might be. All right, 3 types of practices. Number 1 is focus and prioritizing. So I just put on here, keep it simple. And I know as a coach and a teacher, because being a coach, you're teaching, you're just not teaching, you're teaching something different. For my case, I teach basketball. And we try in our classroom and in our gym when we're practicing to focus on being good at a few things. They're going to be important things, but not being just average at a bunch of different things. If you just work a little bit here and there, you're not going to be really good at anything. So we try to focus on those things and finding things like in our physical education program, what do we need to focus on the most for our kids to be successful? Number 2, examining feedback and data. Numbers don't lie, and it's important to know what needs to be done to improve. Number 3, emotional intelligence. I really enjoyed reading about this one. Just building honest relationships is so important in leadership, because you just get to know everybody, and then people trust you and they like you and they want to work for you. All right, the 8 principles of ethical leadership. Number 1 is personal courage. And I agree with this one. You always have to do what's best for your students. You can't, even if there's hard decisions to make or there's policies in place that you don't necessarily agree with, sometimes you just got to have courage enough to fight against it and do what you got to do that you believe is best for your students. Number 2 is public interest ahead of self. The teachers and the public opinion matter. You've got to choose what's best for everybody as a whole, and not just for yourself. Number 3, self-control, self-discipline, and integrity. It's important to make good decisions and be a role model in the community, because you've got everybody, their eyes are on you. You're teaching those kids, and you just got to make good decisions and be a good role model for everybody, not just the students but for staff as well. Number 4 is task and employee centeredness. Teachers have to be happy in order to have the best impact on students. So you can't overwork teachers. It's going to have a negative effect on the students, because they're going to be stressed out and maybe not having as much fun as they should be. Number 5 is recognizing talent. Put talent where it belongs. It said that in our reading there, and I thought that was great. And then showing appreciation to the people that have talent or doing what you want them to do, and then that just builds it up even more. They're going to be excited to keep doing what they're doing. Number 6, requiring high ethics from everyone. Building a good culture cannot happen without everybody being on the same page. So you've got to make your expectations clear and hold people accountable, and that's just part of it. Number 7 is sensitivity and understanding. I agreed with this one, that it's important to listen to your stakeholders and not jump to conclusions when something might have happened that you don't agree with. It's okay to be sensitive about certain subjects, and the people will appreciate that. And then number 8 is inclusiveness. This one is one that's unique for me, because I'm a PE teacher, and just all of our specialist teachers. Sometimes there's moments where we feel like we're kind of out of the loop on certain things. So when we do get included in certain decisions or anything, we're pretty excited about it, and it's a big morale booster for us. All right, so this section is my self-critique. So the one thing that I've thought about, and especially maybe realize it when reading this stuff, is that I just need to be better about being positive every day, because there's days where you've had a tough go at home, or like with coaching, we've lost a few games in a row. I'm not really excited to get in there, and I've just got to be better about that for our kids. And then this year it's going to be more, because it's just going to be tough for us being in the classroom a lot, trying to figure out what we can do for our students in there to get some activity going that's good for them. And then within my current teaching practices, I'd like to have more enthusiasm, even when we are doing lessons that, or maybe not aren't something that I necessarily enjoy or some of my favorites. My personality isn't a real high, highly enthusiastic person, and I'm trying to work on that. Just when you show that you're excited and have some energy, your students will kind of feed off that and have a better day. So, but overall, entering my second year, I feel like I've done a good job, like just having a growth mindset, trying to get better every day, reading, doing as much as I can, and trying to just focus on what's best for our students and not necessarily for me. So all these factors support success of our students and stakeholders. The better leaders that are around you, the better you will be. So I'm trying to do that. And like now I'm actually have 1 year more experience than my co-teacher this year. He's also new. So, I'm just trying to guide him the best I can, even though I'm new, and do those type of things. Our district does a great job of building a really good culture. Our motto is we're all students first educators, and we all try to abide by that the best that we can. So standard 2.1, this assignment demonstrated correlation to the standard 2.1 because we learned about and reflected on professional norms to drive educational success. Number 2, relevant. This assignment was relevant to my current learning because I'm an educator and I'm trying to improve. It improved my understanding of leadership and education by providing the reading materials that we had. Number 3, reflection. This assignment will influence the decisions I make as a school leader by being more confident as a new teacher, trying to be more positive, and just continuing to improve as much as I can. And then here's my reference page. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to reading some comments. Looking forward to taking this class with all of you guys. We'll see you later.